Today is one of those days I get a little excited because I get Amazon packages, and quite frankly, it's probably the book that has me the most excited over even the electronic. In this episode, I'm going to talk a little bit more about how reading something like The Artist's Way has not only helped me in terms of my creativity and my willingness to create and allow for the gifts God has blessed me with to speak. Also how it's helping me, again, this is talking about the healing journey, identify with things that I guess I've been dealing with in the background and just didn't really know. But it will make a little bit more sense as I share more about some steps that I've been implementing following reading this book. As far as this book, this is The Creative Act, A Way of Being by Rick Rubin. Watching a video on YouTube recently of Andrew Huberman with Rick Rubin as to how to access your creativity. Immediately, I was excited to buy the book because I love reading and understanding where other creative minds are coming from and what is their inspiration. And it all, to me, leads back to the same thing, is that they dig deep within themselves to just embrace whatever it is that makes them unique, not trying to be like anyone else, simply trying to be their best version. When it comes to creating content, it was this that he said that really resonated with me.
There could be different stories that happen at the same time where you're making something and you have an idea of what it is, and then other people engage with it and they have a different idea of what it is, and they like it for a different reason than you did, or dislike it for a reason different than the reason you like it. We can't control any of those things. All I've ever tried to make was something I like, or something that I felt like was missing as a fan that I wanted, and nobody was making it, so I'll make it. It was always in the service of, I love this thing, I want something like this, no one else is making one, I have to make one.
And here on my wall, amongst many other things I have posted, I wrote this down. I said, the only thing I can control is how I relate to the thing or art, in my case, content and films, I make. I have a little bit of a confession to make. It wasn't so much the shipping delays that caused for me to not get the rotors much sooner and work on the M3 so that I could drive it and park the Alpha. It really boiled down to me just having some uncomfortability with some choices. And the choices that I wanted to make weren't there for me to make. Therefore, it caused for me to check down the decision to even execute the purchase. All right, let me help you make sense of what I just said. Have you ever been to a restaurant where you hadn't been there before, you heard about some great menu items on it, you open up the menu and see all these great choices, and you got to build your own choice, you see the thing that they're noted for, maybe it's a steak, a sandwich, a salad, whatever, and you can't quite make up your mind what you want to try. And you end up just checking that down to just something simple. That's kind of what happened with me here, because there's this thing that has happened over the years, and I don't know exactly what has caused for this to be so prevalent in my life, that when I've got too many choices or things aren't working the way I want them to work, I just shut it down. I just shut it down. In this particular case about the rotors, I normally buy genuine parts, the genuine BMW parts, and they end up being expensive. And because of my discounts and things that I had at the local dealership where I was, I don't have that now. I haven't started or built a relationship with the dealerships here. So of course I'm going to spend more money. But then I do have the third-party retailers that I shop from. Shipping delays were a part of that. The genuine parts were delayed, and so was there a delay with the original equipment part, but then I had used a totally different vendor. That was where it came from, because I had all these things happen. I just said, forget it, I'm not buying anything, I'll just wait. So a week went by, 2 weeks went by, 3 weeks went by, and then here we are, over a month where I could have, I guess, made a decision, but I just couldn't. Whatever the reason was, I just checked down that internal conflict that I was having, which brings me to the discussion about the artist's way. There's a thing that it has me doing, a challenge it has me doing every week. And it is definitely a challenge, because even doing this, there are days where it's just too much. I just check down the idea of even doing it. And I feel that the author of this book knows exactly how I feel, because she must have experienced this too. And what I can say is it has helped me grow. It has helped me get out of my comfort zone. It has helped me to deal with a challenge in my life that was more of a subconscious, buried thought experience, that it's not so much that it's traumatic, but whatever the outcome was, and however I'm holding myself responsible for the decisions I made and how I made these decisions, it's affected me in being able to make decisions today. And it's helping me find my way through that, to work through that, and help me have a better relationship with me. And that's a part of this journey, is working through what I've heard so many people call shadows, to work through those parts of you that seems to be dark. And we want to work through that so that we can find out what is it about that has allowed for us to react to ourselves and to life the way that we do. And some of it is just deep-rooted experiences that our subconscious has buried that we need to work through, so that we can find ourselves and either use that as a tool or work through it and discard it to become our best self. So I want to leave you with that as I exit and get ready to get back to servicing the fluids. As always, thank you all for watching. I hope you're doing well. And if you like today's content, please like it, share it out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already and you want to, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that you'll be notified of the next Vlogmas episode and any other episodes. This is not what I expected to be doing tonight, but here we are. That's good. So this is literally an example of me just getting out of my comfort zone. Being out here at this time of night, legit, no joke, it's almost midnight. Crazy. And I'm not one that's typically out this late, because I really don't have any reason to be out this late. But Today is supposed to be the day that I take a page out of a book I'm reading, The Artist's Way. And not only am I doing exercises in the morning with something called morning pages, where I write 3 pages of just my thoughts, just kind of like brain dumping, so I can be my most creative self during the day. But there's one day out of the week where I take myself on a date. I'm on a date. I actually was going to come out here way earlier and probably go to a movie, but I needed to cook dinner, and I had steaks in the refrigerator that I needed to cook. So I just said, well, I'm gonna cook that, talk to my brother, edit some stuff for social media, and go from there. The biggest thing I'm having to understand now is balance. And it's not that everything is equal, but it's kind of rewriting how my brain works, rewriting how I perceive things. Taking this for example, is like when I used to go out this late at night, it's because I was going out partying and just wasting money, chasing who knows what, who knows where. And I did it to the extreme, and I got burnt out of that. And now, life has, I'm on a different journey, I'm a different trajectory now. And I see life a lot more clearly. And with that clarity, I know I'm on my mission, I have purpose, and I'm using my gifts for that, to help change people's lives and impact people's lives. So one of those big things is even taking something like this, what used to be not so, I guess, overindulgent, not effective, not purposeful, and really was just a detriment to me. And using something like this right now to be, something good, like refocusing, changing that, repurposing, just trying it different. And that part can be tough, especially when you hold yourself accountable to things. Maybe there's some guilt about certain things that you used to do, that you don't really want to remind yourself of that. This is part of the healing process. And sometimes you just gotta face that demon. And I feel like me doing this right here is my way of facing this demon. And you know what it is at the end of the day is that it's all just fear. It's just some level of fear. The fear of repeating something that was bad for you, repeating doing something that was ultimately bad for you. And I'll use this as an example. It's like smoking cigarettes or drinking. One of the hardest things that you can do is quit. And it's like, what is the reason that you're quitting? And sometimes it's just health. Your health isn't great. And sometimes you just know it's just not something that you want to keep doing. Not a good look, not a good fit for whatever it is that you are, who you are wanting to become. And that's really just it at the end of the day. So I don't know what my fear was necessarily of coming out late. I just really have had no reason to. And even if there was events, or it doesn't seem like I'm conquering a fear, but it was a challenge. I'll say that. It was a challenge to not want to stay home, to not want to come out. Like I had to grab my camera gear and I came out just in case there was something to capture. But I feel like I've accomplished something tonight. Even if it is just a small win, it's something I can acknowledge that I was able to do. And the purpose for it all, just take myself on a date. That's it. So I've done that. And cheers to the next one. Until next time, keep driving. Salute. Keep going.